use data and technology as our daring ground. We dared to organize this differently. We had some great workshop, and we invented Publicis News Desk. I don't know if you have already heard about News Desk. We launched this in New York 6 months ago. It's a great, great success, and we are deploying the methodology and tool actually across the world. News Desk is about listening people. News Desk is about learning more about people, and News Desk is about reacting in real time. This is definitely a new data-driven creative and strategic process. This is not a tool. This is definitely a methodology. This is a new way for us internally to transform our agency and the product we are offering to our clients. So I have a short video highlighting that new process and tool we have, and then I will give you more details about News Desk.
When it comes to News Desk, I schedule the meetings, I make sure that all of our documentation is on hand, I take notes and distribute that to everyone.
I set up the agenda for the meetings, and I lead the team through the 3 days that we have News Desk, and then I will take it as a follow-up to make sure that all the content gets approved from a legal perspective and from a brand perspective.
I do the measurement for all our content that is across both our platforms. My main job is to basically look at the content and say, here are ways to optimize it, and here are opportunities to leverage based on the data.
My role in News Desk is to make sure the brand stays relevant by providing content opportunities that are found in pop culture and in the social media space and in the news. One of the best things as a creative on News Desk, it allows us to kind of push the comfort zone. As an ACD of the brand, that's really where I'm trying to go. We can sometimes put posts out there that maybe the client wouldn't be as comfortable with when it comes to print and TV. So it becomes a great testing ground.
I take a lot of the content opportunities that we have, whether they're topical, like a specific day, like it's Halloween, and I really sit with it and try and write against it to create some entertaining content where it really demonstrates value for people, and it's, you know, it's not something boring, it's something actually funny and worth paying attention to, and that's what we do.
So this is News Desk. This is definitely a way for us first to leverage the power of data from social discussion in order to enrich the discussion and the message we have to address to the people. We have more and more data analysts for sure in the room, and they help us first of all to understand what the consumers really need. And it's not only about a social listening tool, it's more about how to analyze all the discussion. We have the capability to scroll more than 300 social networks and in places where there are discussion online. We can do this in more than 50 languages, 56 exactly. We can pilot and monitor more than 130 countries across the world. We have a lot of global brands who trust Publicis because of our network, and it was really, really important to us to have the capability to listen to what the people say about a brand globally at worldwide level, especially when we work, for example, for a brand who is looking to advertise around the World Cup, because football is a topic that interests everybody in the world. And more and more, we try to leverage semantic digital data also to identify those key trends. We have our data analysts in the room, and we have some good startups partners who help us to definitely grammatically understand not only the words, but also the association between the words and the way, and what does that mean? What is definitely the meaning behind those sentences you have on blogs, forums, or social network. We have the capability to pilot more than 120 complex requests, which is really huge, and also the opportunity to pilot more than 12,000 keywords at the same time. Definitely we need people able to analyze all those data. It's quite tough, but we also need people who work really close to the strategic planning team, but also to the creative people. Because this is where they will feel the web, this is how they will feel the discussion, this is how they will interact with the people efficiently. And last but not least, for sure we leverage consumers' data from all owned and paid media, and we listen also to what's happening in paid media, and we get a lot of information from the media plan. We work very closely with a lot of media agencies, even if when the media agencies are a part of the Publicis group. In order to adjust also the path, regarding to the consumer pathway, the right message we need to address to the consumers. Remember what I said about to address the right message to the right people at the right place in real time. And because we now analyze the data, we can definitely see where we have to put the ad efficiently and bring the right content to those people, and not to be too much boring. So I like this case study. This is the travel consumer pathway. We had a good partnership with Google a couple of years ago when I used to work on Garnier's beauty brand, and we were looking to advertise for Ambre Solaire, the sun cream. And we went to Google and we asked them, can you just help us to understand the travel consumer pathway in order for us to get some data and see when we will have to address the right message for the cream. And Google told us that the pathway, the travel pathway, is a 24 days pathway. And so we worked a lot at the agency, and we tried with those 24 days to understand exactly what the people were looking for, where they were looking to go for their vacation, what they were looking to do during this vacation, in order to address them the best ad we could. So when you are looking for a travel with your wife or with your family, you are going to Google for sure, and then you go to forum and you ask a lot of questions to the people in forum. And by listening to this, we were able to definitely understand their needs. And at the end, we had the capability to address exactly the right message with potentially the destination inside the ad, with potentially the right SPF of the cream inside the ad, and perhaps just 1 week before their flight, just to address them an e-coupon or a dedicated offer, marketing offer they could find in a store. So leveraging data and analyzing also consumer discussion help us definitely to see where we need to address the good ad, where we need to address the good content, and pilot day after day the content we will put inside the ad. So this is definitely what we also do with NewsDesk. So last but not least, we enrich also the data analysis in real time due to NewsDesk, due to those people working with us. To finally also find out the right editorial brand content topic. Because when we know where we have to address the ad, we also need to know what content we need to deliver within this ad. But I want to conclude with something really important, because I think we are talking a lot about technology, we are talking a lot about data, but once again I believe, and we believe at Publicis, we need to focus on ideas. It's really good to see where you put your ad. It's really good to see what content you will address, if you need to address an e-coupon or a dedicated ad to those people. But if you don't have any ideas, you want success. And we believe, especially, that the creativity is the link now between data and the customer engagement I was talking about at the beginning of my presentation. So again and again, we think we need to focus on creativity. I was really impressed yesterday to see all those good case studies that have been rewarded because we are judging for ideas. And I'm really happy to see that here in the Cristal, even if we are talking more and more about data, about technology, which is definitely fantastic, we need to match those technology, those startups, with the people who create the ideas. The good way, definitely, is that we have already embraced this. It's not only a PPT I'm presenting to you today. We have a good case study we did for Citibank in New York by launching a 24 hours discussion with consumers during the Olympic Games. It was for Citibank, and you will see how NewsDesk is really working for engaging the consumers' discussion.
We run a lot of news desks throughout the agency, but what makes this one different is that it's centered around an event, and it's a 24/7 news desk. Our other news desks are really about how to position the brand for conversation that day, and this pop-up news desk is how to be the conversation all day long.
The audience that we get to work with is enormous, it's worldwide, it's international. You know, we're getting to take city's brand, the great thing they're doing with every step, and we get to infuse it with these fantastic assets.
The stuff that we're putting out is what people are talking about at that moment. That's the stuff that cuts through. That's the stuff that matters. And that's really what makes these real-time actions so successful. This is about being in the conversation, part of the conversation, fueling the conversation, and leading the conversation. Well, one of our biggest successes happened just on Tuesday when one of our athletes, our loser, Erin Hanlon, won a bronze medal. We realized that in the social space that they were talking about the fact that she had made history. She was the first American to ever win a medal in Luge. So we optimized the creative on the fly, came up with a new line, and resized everything for the social channels in minutes. It was amazing, the reaction.
And then we get to bring it to the people through social media and just hit, you know, millions of people simultaneously. It's incredibly exciting.
Just before we conclude, I just want to precise that Newsdesk is not only about social networks. Definitely Newsdesk is used by all of the teams internally to provide good content everywhere. We had so many good case studies where we developed over the night a print ad, just printed 24 hours after the listening in order to address a huge, massive audience with the good content. It's also really good to see and to feel that this is a way for us to transform internally the business, because by involving all those people in the same room, we make them feel how the web and is working, what are those social beliefs I was talking about as an introduction. Just in a few words to conclude, yes, focus on data, but data have to be strategic, and we need to leverage data to definitely feed our strategic planning. And we need also to focus on ideas. I definitely believe without ideas you cannot do anything. I know that Jan from ETO, our data company, will have a great conference tomorrow, and I invite all of you to join this conference because I'm sure that you will learn a lot also about how we address the right content to the right people in a loyalty program, which is really interesting. Thanks to all and good afternoon.